the Biden administration agreed to Republican demands to shave off about $21.4 billion in funding for the Internal Revenue Service. And for those who haven't been following this issue super closely, last year when Congress passed the Inflation Reduction Act, they allocated about $80 billion to the Internal Revenue Service over a 10-year window. And the goal of that funding was sort of to do a couple of things. One, to make sure that the IRS can hire the staff and build out the technological systems that are needed to really function effectively. That funding was also meant to enable the IRS to start better enforcing the laws on the books to crack down on wealthy tax cheats and tax evaders. And we know that, unfortunately, the top 1% of individual filers, the wealthiest 1% of individual filers, now make up about 70% of what we call the tax gap. That's the differences between taxes owed and taxes collected. And so that money was meant to provide the staffing and the capital and the resources to really start cracking down and auditing and enforcing the laws on the books so that the wealthy aren't continuously cheating on their taxes. So because that money would have resulted in better enforcement, actually the fact that we cut that $21.4 billion from IRS funding, we didn't save $21.4 billion. We actually lost $90 million because each dollar that is put forward for enforcement not only pays for itself, but actually brings in a little more than what's spent in revenue.